What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Do you recognize who just showed up at my house? I hope you do. Minibike Mike's Garage from the YouTube channel that I'll link below.
Yeah.
I knew Mike was coming, but I didn't know I was going to be as excited as I am until he got here.
Well, I am too, friend.
Yeah.
I am too.
So we've been talking shop. I've been showing him around a little bit here, and we're talking about, if you don't know, you should by now, we're going on the Great American Monkey 1000 this coming fall. So we've been doing a lot of talking about that, and we're just going to, him and I are just going to chat about that for a little bit so you kind of know what's going on behind the scenes with us.
Okay, that sounds good.
So here, Mike's checking out my candidate for the Great American Monkey 1000. And if you watch his channel, you'll see recently he kind of did a video on his pack out for his tools and what he's taken and spares. Did you even have your clothes in there?
I did. I had a bunch of old shirts and stuff at the shop, and I just bundled them up. I thought, okay, this is about how much clothes I think I'm going to take. So I just threw them in there just to actually have an accurate weight of what I'm actually going to carry. I'm not 100% sure because Patrick and I, we get postcards, we get information with the event and what's going to happen, but we're way too far away from it to get all the final details. So we're going with, the two of us are going with two other guys, Stuart Appleton and Johnny. Oh my gosh, Johnny, I'm so sorry. I forgot.
Johnny, he's from Vegas, right?
He's from Vegas, yeah. And all of a sudden his last name has escaped me. I've not met Johnny yet. Stuart and Patrick I have. So we've been, the four of us have a little text group, and we've been chatting about who's carrying what and who's doing this and who's doing that. So my part of the deal was to have a lot of tools that way, we don't all need to carry a 10 millimeter socket, although I'll probably lose it and we'll need one, right?
Somebody better bring a spare.
Yeah, somebody better bring a spare 10 millimeter. So that's my part of the deal. So my bike is all outfitted with a lot of tools and parts that kind of will maybe work on all the bikes, but somewhat specific to mine. They are going to carry things like Patrick's using a completely different tire and rim setup than I am. So he's going to need different tools or tube sizes than what I'm going to need on mine. So
I know one of the things I'm also doing is because I'm going to be running the extended swing arm, I'm going to pre-cut my chain to length.
Yes.
And then I bought some spare master links and some half links.
Yes. Yep. Good for you. Yep.
So I figure I know you've got some chain stuff.
Yeah, I've got some too, but we don't know.
We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know we're spending 7 days in the desert of Moab. I guess desert's the correct term to use. We don't know what we don't know what we're up against, quite honestly. One thing we don't know about yet is like food. I mean, do you know anything?
No, and the more I look at it, and I look at everything that we're going to need to bring just to survive. Mm-hmm. Clothing, obviously water,
right?
A tent,
right?
Sleeping
bag, a pad maybe or something.
Yeah, then our tools, and then spare parts. Where would we put food? I don't know where the food goes.
I have tried to keep a little bit, a little bit of space for something. Yeah. I don't know. I might be eating a lot of beef jerky or something for 7 days.
Yeah, or protein bars.
Protein bars, yeah. Right. Yeah.
That to me is the biggest unknown right now.
The thing is, none of us are going to carry enough fuel to go more than 100 miles, maybe a little bit more than that. There's going to have to be fuel stops somewhere, and you got to believe that if there's fuel somewhere, they got to sell a Snickers bar or something that we can buy on the hammer, something that we can buy. So,
so my understanding of the route is they're going to give us places where we need to show up every night.
Correct.
And it's kind of on us how we get there. We could probably choose the easy way and take the highway, or we could go the fun way and go cross country.
Exactly. And it's 1,000 kilometers over 7 days. So 1,000 kilometers comes up to somewhere around 620 some odd miles. So you divide that by 7 days, you're figuring you're moving somewhere 85 to 90 miles a day on an average.
Yeah.
Now, if it was street driving, it would only take a couple hours, a few hours to do that, 2 or 3 hours to do that. But
it'd probably be cheating too.
Yeah, it would be cheating.
Unless we had no choice.
So we should have plenty of time to do a lot of sightseeing, take not the hardest route, but take the scenic routes to get from place to place. And I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to is the scenery.
Same here.
I've been to MOAB, but I've never ridden anything off road
Right.
there. I've just been there in a vehicle. So
I've never been there. I've been watching a lot of videos, and the scenery is something
unbelievable.
else. Yeah.
And so to go with that, what we were talking about earlier is I'm packing a lot of tools. I think you talked about you know about drones. I'm not a techie guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I can work on these things, but you start talking about apps and drones, and that's out of my realm.
It is part of my plan. I want to bring a small drone that I can pack down into one of my bags. And
Okay.
you'd be surprised. Like something that fits in the palm of my hand will make some really nice videos.
We had the when I went on the Lake Michigan trip. If you haven't seen those videos, that was back in July of 2024. One of the guys, we had a drone, and he sent it up, and he had it follow us for a trip. That's some really neat footage. And so out in MOAB, that's going to be phenomenal.
It is.
That's really going to add to Patrick's content to his channel, so it'll be pretty cool. Then we've got things like satellite phones, and I mean, I don't know. Really, I don't know what all we need.
Yeah, if you listen to what they're telling you, if you break down, they're not coming looking for you.
No.
There's going to be a chase truck with parts, but it's kind of going to be waiting for you if you make it to the next stop, from what I understand.
Yeah, what my understanding is, it's a fairly large box truck, probably a U-Haul box truck.
Yeah.
Obviously can't go down the trails of MOAB, and each team gets a 27-gallon tote to put all your spare parts in. Now that's just the parts that, in case you have a catastrophic failure, anything that happens, chain break or carb needs clean, you got to be able to fix that on the trail.
Flat tire.
And so because this box truck can't go on the trail, it's got to stay on the main road. So that's why they wanted you to have it in teams, in case you do break down, somebody does need to go to the truck, you've got a buddy that can ride 30 miles and go pick up a part and bring it back. So
what are your thoughts? Because I'm running the stock engine that comes in the Champion. Do you know, is that a Lifen knockoff?
I think I think they call them a Lonkin, or is a brand, but it essentially is a Lifen. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Because I bought a spare 125 Lifen.
Did you?
The one you always buy.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Do you think we should bring an extra engine?
I think so. I think we should have at least one extra engine in the tote in the chase truck. Just in case. The only thing that worries me about this particular setup is, it does have this. It's got electric start, so there's a chain in there.
Yeah.
And if you pop that chain and it messes some stuff up, you don't know what's going to happen there.
I agree.
That's the only thing that worries me about this particular setup. So I don't know. Are you planning on using electric start, or are you just going to kick it?
I don't really plan on using it.
Yeah. If you don't use the electric start, because what happens is
it kicks back.
It kicks back, exactly, and then it snaps that chain, and then the chain gets bundled up, and it starts ripping wires and coils
if it's running,
out.
you're done.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah. And so unless you want to carry a whole nother, I'm actually carrying an extra stator.
I saw that
for my bike, but this setup's different from what I have, so it won't help you at all. Because what happens on mine, I don't know if you can see it. So this one's enclosed on this particular engine, but on my Lifen,
it blows up the CDI pickup.
the chain can actually catch hold of the little pickup coil that sits here, and if the chain jumps, it bunches up right here and it snaps that off, and then you're dead in the water unless you've got an extra stator. So
that's when you wish you had points, right?
Yeah, that's when you wish you had points. Yeah, but. But you got a pretty nice little setup here. I'll be curious to see when I'm leaving here in a couple days, or actually later today, and I'm heading to Georgia to see Stuart, who's the other guy who's riding with us, and I'll be curious to see what kind of setup he's doing too.
Yeah.
So for his, but yeah, the whole packing of the gear and trying to figure out what gear we're going to take that's the hard part, I think.
Yeah, I think my biggest fear, to be honest with you, is a flat tire for some strange reason.
Oh, really?
I don't know why, but
so is that a tubeless or a tube tire?
It is tubeless.
It is tubeless. So you're probably just going to take some sticky plugs or
That's
something?
exactly what I've got. I've got I bought a little compact plug kit, and then I bought some spare plugs, and then I've got one of those little mini air compressors that's about the size of a cell phone.
Yep.
That I'm gonna bring.
Yep.
And those are they're 12 ply tires.
Yeah.
Which is why I had so much fun mounting them. So I'm guessing they're going to be pretty tough. I mean,
Yeah, I think they will be. Yeah. Yeah, and if you watch the videos of the MOAB stuff, I mean, there is just a lot of just flat, dirt road type stuff.
There is some rugged.
There is some
rocky,
rugged trails too. So
yeah.
we'll have to once they give us the information and we can figure out where each checkpoint is and we can map our route. Well, we can pick and choose what trails that we take and how hard, how difficult we want to make it on ourselves. So
yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's troubling us about this trip that we haven't talked about.
I don't know. Go ahead.
How many miles to the gallon did you get the other day?
I got 73.8.
And you was running pretty much wide open.
But I think I was running, I was on, stretches of road where I was running 45, 50 mile an hour for long stretches. So I think it'll get much better gas mileage, only going 15, 20 mile an hour through
just
MOAB.
idling around.
I don't know, but that was pretty consistent with the trip that I took to West Virginia on that ST90 with the 125.
Okay.
It got dead right at 70 mile to the gallon. And I've got, on the back of my bike, I have about I think it's 1.6 gallon tank. So I'll be able to go about 100 miles or so between fill-ups. So
have you ever, because I know you got a bunch of them, have you ever weighed a stock CT70?
No, but that I'm going to do when I get back up to Indiana. That's one of the first things I'm going to do is I need to weigh a stock CT70 and then weigh the bike that I've built for MOAB and see just how much weight I'm carrying.
I'd be very interested to see what that number looks like.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, my fuel plan is going to be, I'm going to run the stock tank, and then I've got that little aux tank over here.
How much does it hold?
I think it's a liter.
Okay.
It's like a liter.
Okay.
And then I've already got my side bags, and the way they're set up is I'm going to be able to. Have you seen those fuel bottles you can buy?
Yes.
I'm going to carry two of those.
Yes.
With these little strap things that hold them to the outside of my bag.
Gotcha.
And then that's going to be my fuel.
And so this tank over here, the auxiliary tank that you have, it'll be plumbed into the carburetor?
Yeah, it goes right here.
It just goes right there, and so you'll have just a line run from...
Yeah, and I'm going to put a petcock on it.
So between the tank that's inside the frame and that, you'll have a gallon or a little bit better, something like that, maybe?
And then with the two extra bottles.
So you'll have plenty of... you'll get.
And I figure,
also.
I mean, if I run out of gas, I think you got plenty, right?
Yeah, I'm carrying
a small tanker.
I'm carrying a BP with me on the back.
So and that's all you're bringing, right? Just that one tank. That's your plan.
I don't know if you saw it in the. I just for just for kicks and giggles, I wanted to see what it looked like. I had a spare tank
CT90
off of a CT90, one of those auxiliary tanks. And it fit really well right in here, so I actually mounted the bracket and I have it there. So I don't know if I'm going to put fuel in it. I probably will. So it holds almost a gallon just by itself.
Oh, wow.
So I'll have, I'll be a rolling gas station for anybody that runs out of fuel out in MOAB. So
cool. So, I guess
you going to change the seat, or you going to go rock that seat?
I think I'm going to run that
one.
I just don't want to mess with changing all the bracketry and all that. And
yeah,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Are you running? Are these the pegs that come on the bike?
Yeah.
Oh wow, these are so much better pegs than what came on my 2022 version.
When I saw those, I'm done.
I think these. I just bought another set of pegs. If you haven't seen my videos, I don't know why I did it, but I thought I wanted a center stand, and so I bought a set of pegs, and they're too flimsy. I have purchased from Bart Moto a set of pegs that look almost identical to these, and I'm going to be switching to those also. Because the center stand just hangs down too far. I'll be dragging everything.
So you're going with no center stand now?
I'm going with no center stand. I don't know why.
I wondered when you did that if you were thinking about the terrain.
I don't know why.
It'd be nice to have, but
here's the deal. When I built the bikes to go to Lake Michigan, and I had that CT 110, and I had that great big box on the back of it.
Yep.
Well, anytime I tried to use the side stand, it was too much weight, and it wanted to tip it over. And so I was worried about how much weight I was putting on the MOAB bike, that I thought, well, you know what, a center stand, but it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'll have to, if the side stand doesn't work, I'll have to lean up against a rock or something. I don't know what I'll do. But yeah.
So I guess one last thing. What are you going to run for decals on yours?
Don't know.
Because I've got two different options I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't know, Patrick. And I don't know. I'm probably going to paint mine because mine's just bare, metal right now from where I stripped the paint off the old frame. And I have not painted it. And that's probably been the biggest question people have asked me, what color are you going to paint it? And I haven't really let that cat out of the bag. I got a couple things in mind, and same with you. I've got a couple different decals that I could put on it, and that's going to depend on what color I paint the bike. So
with me, with this being black, you know the deal, 1978.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what I did with my Ice Bear Champion. Yeah.
So I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag either. But let's just say I actually had custom decals made.
Oh, you did.
And I also have the other set.
The from the Great American Monkey, yes.
Yeah, I have both. So I'm like, which way?
The Great American Monkey 1000, the group of guys that put that together, they very patriotic fellas. They love them some red, white, and blue and so forth. So the decals that they have made, I think, are very much red, white, and blue.
They're like a K0 style.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they kind of have the vertical stripes, and then it says Great American Monkey 1000 on it. But I will say this, just I know that you're probably not going to keep these, but wow, are these so much better looking decals than what came on the previous versions?
Yeah.
Yeah, not only did you get the aluminum swing arm and some other things, they actually put better graphics on these.
It's kind of cool that they chose to go with these colors for the 78 Honda.
That's kind of match, yeah. One last thing, I want to ask you. I know that I used to really promote Cajun Mad Dogs. That's where I got my Ice Bear Champion, and they were some fantastic fellas. Unfortunately, due to some health concerns that both Alan and his brother, they retired and they shut down Cajun Mad Dogs. Where did you get this one?
I got
guys
it from
want to know.
MotoBuys.
MotoBuys, okay.
And it was $1,500 and some change delivered.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad
and
at all.
I think they're still running that same price on them.
Really? Because I thought it went the ones because they make two versions of this, right? There's the version you have that has the aluminum swing arm and the LED lights and all that kind of stuff. And then they have one that has the basic old school type swing arm. And I thought it was $1,500, but you got this one for like $1,500 and some change, huh?
Yeah. And
that's a good deal.
If anybody watching does decide to order one, I will say their communication is lacking a little bit.
Okay.
I paid for it, set everything up, and I didn't hear anything from them until the day the shipping guy called me and said, I'm here to deliver it.
That was the good thing about Cajun Mad Dogs is they were on that. They were.
I was a bit nervous.
Yeah. Well, I bought an Amigo Rocky, and at that point Cajun didn't sell those, and so I had to get it from someplace else. And I had that kind of experience from them. I was on the fence of whether or not I was actually going to receive the bike or not. So, yeah. Cool.
Speaking of bikes, can we run out and look at your bikes real quick?
Heck yeah, let's go do it.
Let's go do that.
Yeah.
Shop manager is making an appearance, Richard. I don't think Mike leaves home without a mini bike.
Oh, heavens no. No, man, you gotta. So what I got going on here, so this, in June of 2022, I bought two bikes. There's two companies here in the United States that are selling the clones. There's the Amigo Rocky, which is what this version is, and then there's the Ice Bear Champion. And in June of 22, I bought one of each just so I could kind of compare them, do some videos comparison. And they're essentially the exact same bike. Really the only difference between this and like the bike you have in there, the Amigo Rocky comes with a manual transmission, where like Patrick's bike and my Ice Bear Champion, those are a semi-automatic, no hand clutch. That's really the big difference on these. The only other real thing is this one originally came with a lot of blacked out stuff. The handlebars are blacked out. The original exhaust was blacked out. I put this Bart Moto unit on here now. So everything else was kind of just aesthetics. So, but it's been a really, really good bike. I put the bigger 120 90-10 tires on it, and I run
you can tell it's well used.
Oh, so. I run the heck out of this one, and it got dirty, and for some odd reason, I just stuck with, what? I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to see how dirty I can get it. I'll wash it one of these days. And then the bike on the back is actually, I'm heading down toward, after I leave here, I'm heading down toward Florida, and this is the Balboa bike. I built this, I can't remember, back summer of 2024. and a guy reached out to me just the day before we left in the RV and said, hey, I'd like to buy that bike. It's a CT70 K1 that I put a Life in 110cc engine in. He's getting the original engine and all the goodies that came off of it, but I told him, I said, well, where are you at? And he told me where he was at, and I said, well, we're going to be pretty close to you within an hour.
Yeah.
I'll just throw it on the, instead of you having to pay another $300 or $400 in a shipping charge with a shipper, I'll throw it on the back of the RV. I had made this rack specifically to hold a couple bikes, and so that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be seeing him in a couple days and dropping that off. So.
All right, good deal. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. We're really happy that Mike stopped by, and we wish him all the best in his travels. And make sure you check out his YouTube channel, Minibike Mike's Garage. There'll be a link down in the description. And again, Mike, this has made my whole day.
Oh, well,
with you stopping by.
Well, mine too. I really appreciate you. I kind of put it out on my channel that we were going to be making this trip, and if anybody wanted us to stop by, and Pat said, yeah, hey, swing by. I'd love to see you. So that's what we're here. So.
All right, well, good, safe travels to you and Amy, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.